Hey friends, Mr. E here. Do you want an arbitrator build that can do this? Well, then I might have the build for you. What we're going to be doing today is using the new buff to Castigator stance, which not only gives Castigator stance 20% additional strength while it's active, so it's all around just a pretty dang good ability now, but also it's going to give us this buff where when we get kills with our ranged weapon, while it's active, it reloads one shot each time. So we can just infinitely shoot whatever gun is in our secondary as long as it's one shot, one kill. Very, very powerful stuff, and I hope you enjoy the build today. Before I get started, reminder, subscribe to the channel, help me grow, and make certain that you're seeing all the Darktide content that I am promising you right here, right now, forever, for the rest of your life. Okay, let's start out up here. You can use whatever melee you want, but I really love the Shock Maul. I mean, this is my favorite weapon on the class. It's just such a great enabler. It helps your team to combat bosses. Remember that the Arbites has pretty poor boss damage in general, but this weapon can make up for that because Skull Crusher, of course. The Skull Crusher blessing, as long as you're just getting your headshots, whapping on the boss, bonking him in the head whenever he's, if it's a captain and they're in that downed animation, or if it's a boss when they're staggered back, just go ahead and go up there and bonk them, and it'll make certain that they are going to get obliterated by you and the rest of your team. I also use high voltage on here, and this weapon is also exceedingly good at killing crushers. All you have to do is just start out like this, and there you go, and then you just give them some overheads. Like, it's just pretty easy. Obviously, I would also have the dog doing it. If I had my, there we go. So like you get the dog in there, and then you just do one of these. So pretty dang simple, right? Way better than most weapons at that, and plus it enables your team to devour them as well. So really making certain that we are using not only our own ability to stun stuff, but also we can use our dog at the same time, keeping all this stuff at bay. And then we're going to go on to our range weapon, which is not necessarily the focus of the build, but it is a very powerful synergy in the build that is a lot of fun. The Exterminator shotgun, I'm using the Mark 8 here, but you can use a lot of different weapons with this. What you really want is a weapon that has a really high value per shot that takes a long time to reload. So weapons like the quick draw stub revolver, the sniper variant, is very good here. You could also use the spearhead bolt gun, although I find it to be a bit ammo hungry, subductor shot pistol and riot shield, but my best results I've found with this Exterminator, the Mark 8, the long nose, the long nose barrel, because when you have this thing powered up, you just start one shot obliterating dudes, and it's really not even close. So from downtown, we're punching through of pretty much anything and annihilating them, and skipping that reload animation is great. Plus this weapon is very ammo efficient in general. We're able to carry 84 shots. That's more than 84 kills generally, and yeah, very powerful stuff. So we're kind of a hybrid, right? We are doing melee damage, but we also have a very, very powerful ability to snipe lots of targets. And we can move full speed when we're in Castigator stance and just kind of roving around doing this. So we can just run out there and start annihilating the enemies. And they can't really do anything to us because we are so tanky. If I could actually aim the target, that'd be great. Okay, let's go on and talk about the blessings here. I'm using full bore and scatter shot. There are lots of sort of different weapons or different blessings you could be using on here. You could be choosing, instead of scattershot, something like what's the name of the buff? This one? No. Yeah, punishing salvo. You could do punishing salvo. You could do sustained fire, right? These trigger on the second, third, and fourth shots in the salvo, so you get 20% damage for those 3 shots. This would give you 50% weak spot damage, so you could get some really crazy weak spots, although I find generally a lot of the targets you want to be taking out are weak in the chest and not in the head, such as the crusher, or not the crusher, the mauler there, and also the plasma gunner. But yeah, weak spot damage is also good, although I find that weak spot damage is kind of overkill with this weapon. Pretty much anything that's vulnerable to a headshot, if you shoot it with this weapon, it's gonna die, or it's gonna get pretty dang close to dying anyway. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Now, I choose Scattershot because this weapon does have about a 50% critical ratio, so if you do pop a crit, you'll be jumping up by 50% damage, and the class is not half bad bad at getting crits at all, especially if you've had the dog going and attacking stuff, which will give you an extra 10% crit chance, and hopefully you've also got these two stacked up as well. Let's continue here before I get too deep in the weeds on the talent tree. Flak Armored and Maniac, just the most common targets you're going to be pumping into, taking out most Ragers and Gunners with one shot, no problem. Then we are going to grab our Curios down here, my typical Arbites Curios, doing some toughness, revive speed, combat ability regeneration, very big, very important on this one, because the Castigator stance does have a 50-second cooldown, which we're going to be lowering quite a bit thanks to our execution order, but this will take it down even further, which is really, really powerful. And then I also choose damage resistance to Gunners. We are a pretty slow-moving character, being the Arbites, and we don't have a shield with us, so we'll need to be able to weather the storm when they're out there in the open. This also just cuts... Really, the only type of damage that can burn the Arbites down is concentrated Gunner fire, and I find that this just kind of rejects that entirely. We're going to come over here to our talent tree, and we're taking up at the top No Escape, triggering 10% damage and 10% movement speed on Elite or Specialist. We are an Elite or Specialist Sniper here, and also our dog is as well. Our dog can be sent to take those targets, and very, very, very potent to be able to have that triggered all the time. Up close, and then Force of Will, as you'll see in pretty much every build. And then we'll take Walk It Off here. We'll come down, and you could, you could take whatever blitz you really want, but remember, we are not using our Lone Wolf Keystone, so you won't be regenerating these others. Remote Detonation will be good then. It allows us to give those grenades to other people on the team. We'll take Arbitrator Armor here. Concussive, super important, especially if you are choosing Shock Maul. And then Ammo Belt for an extra 25% ammo capacity. Voltaic Mandibles, as I showed previously. The Voltaic Mandibles augment, if you have the dog, this is the single most important node for the dog, because it just locks down any target like that, right? That this guy can't play the game for 5 seconds. And if you're really good at controlling your dog, you can send him between multiple targets in that same amount of time, and you can make certain that none of them really get to play the game at all, and just run rampant. Plus, it does some pretty good damage as well, for whatever reason. So very nice, and it synergizes with the high voltage on our maul there. So we'll then take an Imposing Force, which is just going to give us 25% damage resistance all the time. Come down here. I'm not taking any of the things here just to save a node, and you could take something if you really wanted to, but you'll be short a node somewhere else. You could probably take this one out. We'll come down and we'll take Castigator Stance with Rid of Execution, and then Blessed Armament. So just keep in mind, when Castigator Stance is active, we're getting 20% additional strength, and we are just kind of roving around. Then we'll take Rid of Execution, which is going to boost us potentially even further, up to 45% additional damage while we're killing. And remember, the dog can be contributing kills at the same time, so make certain you are controlling the dog and sending him to kill a target while you're also killing a target. You'll get this stacked up in no time. And then Blessed Armament, which is going to allow us to use our shotgun to pump those kills really quickly. Then down here, we'll take Arbites Revelatum. I took Judicious Efficiency. If you find that you don't need this, all the more power to you, but 20% reload speed that lasts forever. All you have to do is kill one Elite or Specialist at some point, and you'll get that on their next reload. Then we'll take Justified Measures over here, Rebreather, nice quality of life, Street Smarts, and then Target Priority and March. This allows us to move even quicker when we're in Castigator stance, and it also just makes for a nice advancing buff. If you're running forward, if you shotgun a guy and he gets staggered backwards, now you get a 15% movement speed where you can close the gap on him and kill him. And then we'll come down here, take Zealous Dedication and Soul Guilt Scan, two obvious must-haves on every build. Then we'll take Execution Order. So this build, because we've got that sniper shotgun, we're going to see lots of marked targets. The dog will kill marked targets. We can kill marked targets. Either way, we're going to get the 50% cooldown regeneration and 10% crit chance, 25% crit damage, which boosts our crits even further because we are hitting like crazy. And then not far behind is going to give us even more damage and movement speed, making our overall sort of movement speed pretty comparable to other classes when we're killing those elites and specials. So there you go. Hopefully the build looks pretty fun, and here is some gameplay of it in action so you can see if it looks fun. And let me know what you think in the comments. I'll see you soon, guys. Mystery out. Bye bye.
Armor neutralized. Seek, destroy. Well, blood order. Give me old castigator.
Goodness.
Trust only ever leads to disappointment. Lot more coming in. I am Arbites!